If you're in a relationship, your actions can ultimately have a negative impact on your partner. The upcoming case is a good example of that. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Welcome to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. In this installment, we'll be hearing about the case of Jenny Pratt. This case first aired on the December 14th, 1988 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I will go on record and say that I believe that Jenny Pratt's boyfriend, Curtis Croft, is to be blamed due to his reputation of being a known snitch. Is Curtis being a known snitch the reason that Jenny was brutally attacked? As always, you will be given a chance to hear this case and come to your own decision. But first, some commercials from the 1990s.
Who lives in Eureka's castle?
Magellan does.
No, Tail, stop
And
it,
his
stop
tail.
pulling me. Tail, get behind.
Whoa. Oh, you
Tail,
see,
get down, get down, get down.
see, sometimes his tail bumps into things.
Now get behind.
Oh, like me. Come see Magellan and his tail at
Eureka's castle!
Every weekday on Nick Jr.
Okay, here's the case information of Jenny Pratt. Jenny was 16 years old as of the assault. The location that she was assaulted was Carlsbad, California. The classification for this this case is amnesia. On YouTube, you can find this on season 1, episode 11, and the original air date of this case was on December 14th, 1988. Alrighty, everybody, so let's get this going, shall we? So let's, wait, wrong one. There we go. I will read the beginning, and then I'm going to have the browser read-along program read the rest. Hopefully, it'll read it. It's just that sometimes it acts up. If that's the case, then I will be the one that reads the case for you guys. So, we have Jenny Pratt. And here's a picture of her. Full name was Jennifer Jenny Pratt. The case is attempted murder. The location is Carlsbad, California, and the date of the assault was April 25th, 1987. Okay, so let's see how this goes. First, I should have done it before. I didn't. I'll be honest, I forgot. Let's see, is there any updates? I just want to see if there's it's up to date. Okay, so hopefully we will not have any problems, but then again, if it does, I will read it to everybody. Okay, read aloud. Come on.
16-year-old Jenny Pratt had hopes of becoming a model. She was bubbly, pretty, nice, and popular, and in her sophomore year at San Dieguito High School in Carlsbad, California. But what mattered most to her was her boyfriend of 1 year, Curtis Croft. She was deeply in love with him. He drove a Porsche, had plenty of money, and was a good-looking California surfer. But his glamorous facade had a darker side.
Yeah, so basically what you're going to find out is that Curtis convinced Jenny to basically tell her parents that Curtis was younger than he actually was. I think Jenny was like 16 or 17 when they first met, and I think he was like in his early 20s when it was revealed to his parents, or to Jenny's parents, I should say. Maybe it's just me. But if Jenny was my daughter and she goes, Dad, I gotta tell you something. Curtis, he's not 17 or 18. I'd be like, okay, what is he, 16, 15? Like I say, 15 years old. She goes, no, he's in his 20s. I would shut that shit down. That shit would get shut down so damn quick. Now, let's see here. I'm just curious. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, God. What's the age of consent, California, in 2024? Let's see here. Did they say what it is? Is 18. 18 years old. Now, if we go back here, she was 16, so they could. No, I'm not sure what it was in 1987. So let's see. Does it actually say what it was? It just says 18, but I'm not sure if that is. I'm not sure if through the years. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? I just want to see if it has like what it said it was for the year. That doesn't do anything. I'm not going to see on it. Ooh, well, it did too. No thanks. Yeah, so we're going to just let's just say that it was 18 years of age. So even in 1987 when she was attacked, her parents could have got the guy on statutory rape. And they should have. They should have got him on statutory rape and had him, press charges. But they're not me. Californians are more liberal, as you all know. If it was me, I would have had the book thrown at the guy. But that's just me. We're going to find out, what else happened. And suffice to say, it's not good, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay.
Jenny's mother, Diane Strom, said she did not know what was really going on until almost 6 months into the couple's relationship, when Jenny told her that she had a 17-year-old boyfriend. Diane thought Curtis was nice. She said he did a really good job snowing her. She thought he looked 17. Later, she learned that he had been in jail for drugs. She also learned that he was actually 24. She felt he was bad news for a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, no shit. We're looking at an 8-year age difference, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, if it was just me, heaven forbid if he actually ever came around me. Because if I found out that, a 24-year-old guy was raping my daughter, oh my God, he would be fucked. But, like I said, I think differently, I guess. At least a mother can takes a little bit of responsibility and say the guy fooled her, like. Okay, so let's continue on. A 24-year-old going after a 16-year-old. Yeah, that's not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Is it gonna work?
After learning the truth, Jenny's parents forbade her from seeing Curtis. She got around this by telling them that she was going to hang out with friends. Instead, she would go to his apartment in La Costa. Her life seemed to revolve around him. At one point, she said to a friend of hers, "I don't need any friends. I have Curtis." She also gave the money from her part-time job to him, which he used for food and gas. He claims they had a good relationship, and neither were involved in drugs.
And well, that's bullshit considering that he was in jail for drugs. This is where the parents really fucked up. The parents, they should have just done a fucking little slap on the wrist and forbid her. No, they should have pressed charges. They should have had a restraining order placed against the guy. What? Is Jenny going to be upset? So fucking what? They're thinking in her best interest. They should have had him arrested. They should have pressed charges. He should have been in jail for rape. Like I said, if it was me, heaven forbid if he even tried to do anything, Okay. And the fact that he had her so manipulated that she was basically telling people, well, she doesn't need friends. All she needs is Curtis. That tells you what the guy was doing to her. Do not let this guy's innocent looks get to you. The guy is a manipulator. Actually, there you go. He is a manipulator. And in my eyes, he's a rapist. Okay. Come on. Is it gonna work?
Against her
Okay.
parents' wishes, Jenny went out with Curtis on the night of April 25th, 1987. He borrowed a friend's motorcycle and promised Jenny he would get her home before her midnight curfew. She would never arrive home that night. Instead, she was brutally attacked. At 11:55 p.m., while she and Curtis were stopped at a nearby intersection in Carlsbad, someone from a passing vehicle struck her in the back of the head with an unusual weapon, a heavy 6.5 feet long wooden board. The police believed that her assailants may have been local teenagers. But so far, no one in the community has spoken out to identify them. No one will know who attacked her until someone has the courage to step forward with the truth.
With the truth. It meant to say with the truth. Sometimes the program doesn't always catch it. Now, we're going to find, well, I already know because I've watched this case numerous times, but you're going to find out pretty quickly that our boy, Curtis, he's a snitch. He's a bitch. The guy dealt drugs, and then to help his case when he, was caught dealing drugs, he decided to become a little snitch bitch and start turning, ratting on people. When you become a snitch, you get a bad reputation, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's because of that. This is why, Jenny Pratt was attacked like she was. This guy is bad news, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
At 1 a.m. on the night of the attack, Jenny's stepfather,
Go on. Is it going to work?
Gary
Okay.
Strom, and Diane received a telephone call. Jenny had been airlifted to a nearby hospital, Scripps Medical Center in La Jolla. Gary and Diane were told that she had been in an accident. Diane asked if she was okay, however, the caller was not able to tell her anything. They told her that she would have to come down to the hospital. She did not even know where it was. Neither her nor Gary knew why Jenny was sent to Scripps, since there was another hospital much closer. Scripps is a renowned trauma center which takes only the most severe cases. When Gary and Diane arrived there, they began asking the staff questions, but no one was able to give them any answers. Finally, a nurse told them that the doctor would like to talk to them. The doctor took them into a nearby waiting room and told them the worst possible news. Jenny was brain dead, and they did not expect her to live more than a few hours.
Okay, so it's amazing what one little blow to a person's head can do, the brain is a very delicate piece of equipment, and all it takes is just one little literally one little, an impact, and it can really alter somebody's life forever. Okay, so let's. It looks like the program may be starting to act up, so I may have to start reading this. I also enlarged it a little bit, so hopefully that'll help, for your viewing pleasure. Okay, let's continue on.
Yours. Dr. Jerry Stenjum, Scripps medical director, says that Jenny received a serious injury at the scene of the attack. The blow from the board was great enough to actually crush her skull, which caused an immediate shutdown of her brain. After Diane was given the news, she was allowed to see Jenny. She was horrified at her condition. Her hair was red from all of the blood. She was bleeding out of her nose, ears, and mouth. She had tubes all over her. Diane says it looked like her whole body was
was distorted. She's not even my kid, and I feel bad for her parents. Yeah, were her parents kind of negligent on letting her continue to see this guy? Yeah. But it doesn't mean I can't show compassion for them. Their daughter was brutally attacked and could die. They said that she wasn't even, they didn't think she was going to live that much longer. Do I think that they, could have been better parents? Yeah. But like I said, I have a right to feel bad for them also. Their child was attacked, you know. If it was my child, and I would hope that anybody who watches this, if they're, you know, you're a parent, if I was a parent, I would go through anything possible to make sure that those people who attacked my daughter were properly dealt with. And if it was revealed that Curtis Croft, his actions are what led to her being attacked, oh God, help him also. Okay, let's see here. Let's do this. Okay, come on.
Root. Miraculously, Jenny survived, but she lapsed into a deep coma. Sergeant Jim Byler of the Carlsbad Police Department said the first thing they did was examine the evidence that was found at the crime scene, which consisted of the board that was used to strike her and Curtis. They examined the board for physical evidence such as fingerprints. However, nothing was found. There were some blood stains on it, which were photographed and were determined to be
hers. Now I'm not a police officer, so you know, I always kind of figured that you can get fingerprints from, you know, primarily like smooth surfaces. I never thought that it would be possible to get fingerprints from kind of like a rough surface, like on wood or something. I didn't know that was possible, so I just actually learned something right now. Apparently you can get fingerprints from 2x4s and everything. Okay, so now they're going to be talking about Curtis and that little punk bitch.
hers. Curtis was interviewed that same day at the Carlsbad police station. His account of what happened, basically, was that he was giving Jenny a ride home. They were driving down Rancho Santa Fe Road, getting ready to make a left turn. They slowed down as they approached the intersection with Olive Enhin Road, and then stopped in the left turn lane. All of a sudden, he felt something strike him. He felt pain in the back of his head. At that same time, a white pickup truck drove quickly past them. He turned around to Jenny to say that he thought someone threw something at him. He noticed that she was slumped over and out of it. He realized that she was serious.
Seriously hurt. Yeah, she basically took the majority of that entire the brunt of that attack. You know, like he should be thanking his. If he believes in God, I hope that he's fucking thanking him, because she took all that. She took, like, I'd say like 90% of that, you know, of that attack. Once again, the little chicken shit of a snitch basically got away. The sad thing is, this time it actually caused severe damage to a woman that he claims to love. Okay. Okay, let's do this.
Why hurt? Based on Curtis' statement, the police believe a truck.
Hold on, it's acting up. Hold on, let's see if can we get it to work.
A load of teenagers committed this crime. The truck went by them at a high rate of speed. Curtis believed that there was a large group of teenagers in the back of it. They appeared to be laughing as they went by. The board came flying from the truck. Sergeant Byler believed that this case would be solved quickly because teenagers have a tendency to talk when they commit a crime. He felt that the police were going to identify the suspects in a short amount of time. But to this date, no one has come to the police with direct knowledge of what happened that night. Most of the information they have received has been rumors and fourth and fifth-hand accounts. They are surprised that no one has come forward.
Okay, now they believe that it's teenagers. What if it wasn't teenagers? I think it could have been people, adults most likely, that were in jail and that were victims of Curtis being a snitch. That's what I think could have been, at least. That's just my thought. because nobody really said anything. Adults are a lot. Adults are able to keep secrets a lot more than teenagers. So I'm kind of thinking that it was adults that were in that truck. Okay. Come on.
Forward. Dissatisfied with the efforts of the police, Gary and Diane hired private investigator Louis Crisafi to look into this case. He interviewed students at Jenny's school. Sydney Stanger, one of Jenny's friends, told him that the attack was aimed for Curtis, not Jenny. She said that nobody knows who actually did it. She has a feeling that she knows who did it, but no one is willing to come forward and say who is responsible. Sergeant Byler said that there were people who did not like Curtis, based on his background. He was not a popple.
A popular person. Let's see here. I'm going to read this next part here. Let's see here. There. In August 1985, Curtis had been convicted of dealing cocaine, not marijuana. You know, cocaine is not like it's not something minor like what marijuana is. Cocaine is a hard drug, ladies and gentlemen. After cooperating with investigators, he served less than half of his sentence and was released February 1986. According to Sergeant Byler, he developed a reputation as a snitch when he got himself in trouble. Sergeant Byler says that young people, particularly ones involved in drugs, tend to look down on someone who develops that reputation. Nobody likes a snitch. Nobody likes a snitch. Not in 1986, not in 1987, and sure as hell not 2024. If you get a snitch, that really kind of just marks you for life, basically. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. There we go. Ah, crap. Wrong one. Sorry. Ah, fuck. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's do it again. There we go. Accidentally clicked on the wrong one. There we go.
Reputation. Police investigated a number of people who might have wanted to hurt Curtis. They learned that he had confronted one of his enemies, a teenage former friend, on the night before the attack. He accused the man of stealing personal possessions from his apartment and then threatened to go to the police about it. Crisafi, Gary, and Diane believe that the man might have attacked her and Curtis because of Curtis' threats against him. Prior to the attack, she had told Gary and Diane that several people were after Curtis for
something. And that something is probably revenge because of the fact that Curtis was basically a snitch. These people probably, were in the drug business, and because of him, narking out the drug dealers, it probably, put them or their friends in jail for quite a long time, and they wanted revenge. They wanted revenge. And the thing is, there is no time limit for revenge. People will get revenge on you. It could be a day down the road. It could be a week. It could be years. But when somebody wants to get revenge, they will. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
This case first aired on December 14th.
Ah, crap, hold on. It's acting up. Hold on to me. Okay, let's see here. Hold on, I'm so trying to find it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, police invest here. Let me. Oh no, okay, hold on. The police were right here. Okay. Okay, so I'll read it. The police investigation stopped cold when Curtis claimed he could not identify the perpetrators. You know why I couldn't identify them? Because he was probably scared shitless after what happened to Jenny. Those people that attacked Jenny were probably the ones that were at that restaurant the night before. And he thought, "Oh God, I could have died right here. It was my girlfriend that got hurt, but oh my God, thank God, I'm alive." And because of that, he decided to become a little spineless piece of shit. Instead of doing what he needed to do, which was fucking narc at this time, he decided to be Mr. Idiot and be like, play the I don't know who they were card. He knows who they were. We all know who they were. The people that attacked Jenny at that intersection were probably the ones that were at that restaurant. He said that the truck was traveling at 55 miles per hour, too fast for him to get a good look at them. How the fuck could he tell exactly how fast they were going? And by the way, later on we're going to find out that they did some tests, and the speed the speed and everything did not match up to what the little snitch was saying. Okay, let's see here. Chris Offey did not believe him. Neither do I. Hey, I like him. He doesn't believe him. Neither do I. Anyway, he attempted to reconstruct the attack at two different speeds. They used an identical truck as far as model year and size. And and the same type of motorcycle. They used mannequins to represent Jenny and Curtis. And they used the same conditions as that night. Okay. The first reconstruction was done at 50 miles per hour. At that speed, it seems almost certain that both Curtis and Jenny would have been killed. Moreover, in this reconstruction, the board fell about 50 feet from the scene of the crime, when in reality, police had found it only a few feet from the spot where Jenny had been attacked. Okay, let's just go down here. The second reconstruction played out only at 10 miles per hour, inflicted injuries very similar to the ones that they actually received. And this time, the board fell right next to the motorcycle. Chris Offey said he had reason to believe that Curtis was not telling the whole truth. Yeah, you fucking think? Even I can tell the guy was lying, and I'm just reading this to you guys. See here. In August of 1987, he went to Curtis's apartment and visited with him. He felt Curtis had seen the people in the truck and confronted him about it. Finally, he did name names. 3 people who he had seen in the truck, including one that had thrown the board. One of them was the same man he had fought with on the night before the attack. Chris Offey contacted the police, but when Sergeant Byler interviewed Curtis later that same day, he recanted. Who would have fucking thought that a spineless little shit would chicken out again? Like I said, he knew that he was close to dying that night. The only thing that saved him was Jenny. Basically her head was right there. Saying he never got a glimpse at the perpetrators' faces. He said that he gave those names because Chris Offey had scared and pressured him and threatened him with jail if he did not talk. Sergeant Byler said the tactics Chris Offey used while interviewing Curtis were unacceptable, and that the information Chris Offey obtained was worthless. Worthless or not, the fact is we have a guy here who is a spineless little jellyfish. If you want to look up a picture of useless boyfriend, you'll find Curtis Croft. Curtis maintains that the truck went by too fast for him to recognize anyone. Not according to the test, it didn't. He said the names he gave were people he thought were involved. He said that lie detector tests have been done on him and he had passed them. I don't fucking believe anything lie detector tests say. Lie detector tests are not inadmissible in court. They can go get fucked. He said that he has told the truth, has always been there to help, and has always cooperated. I call bullshit on that. Now, hold on. The fact that he recanted says he's not doing everything to help. Actually, I don't need it on right now. Okay. Chris Offsey and his team still believe that Curtis did in fact see the perpetrators. Curtis reportedly told Chris, I always can't pronounce that name, Chris Offey, that he had been repeatedly threatened. Well, yeah, you're a fucking snitch. But you thought you were going to be able to be a snitch, that you're going to just turn everybody in and you were going to be able to have your little walk into the sunset? Fuck no. You are a snitch. You're a little snitch bitch. If he's still alive to this day, I'm fucking shocked. Anyway. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Had informed people before and was afraid that he would be killed. He told Chris Offey that he had already been threatened and told not to talk about the attack. So he does fucking know something. Chris Offey believes that the threats against Curtis are true, and that is why he has not identified his perpetrator. Well, because he's a spineless little chicken shit. I do not feel bad about Chris. I feel bad about Jenny. Jenny did not deserve what happened to her. Yeah, she was in love with the guy and she made some bad judgment calls. But she didn't deserve to have the back of her head caved in. Okay. Gary said that whenever they find someone that is willing to come forward and say something about the case, somebody else gets to them first. Then the witness either disappears or says that they do not know anything. Diane believes that people have been paid off and or threatened. She says that anytime somebody tries to come forward, the next day they do not want to do it. She said that people's minds do not change that fast. She believes that someone got to them first. 3 months after the attack, Jenny came out of her coma. The injuries to her brain caused her body to contort into a fetal ball. I don't recall them saying that in the actual video itself. That's kind of sad if it happened. At first, she seemed incapable of thought or action. But about 12 weeks, she started physical therapy and was then transferred to Paradise Valley Hospital in National City. Gary and Diane made the 100-mile round trip each day, to be by her bedside. 7 months after attack, she began to speak. A year later, she walked. Oh, man. Did you imagine? Her family must have just gone through so much, financially to make sure that they were with her. They weren't with her just like once or twice a week. They were there with her each and every day. I got to congratulate her parents on that. Like I said, they may have made some bad calls, but at least they were there for their daughter, every day until she woke up and started to walk. I am proud of them for that. Okay. In March 1988, nearly a year after the attack, Jenny finally came home. Since then, Gary and Diane have taken her to daily rehabilitation classes. Her speech initially slurred has practically returned to normal. Her long-term memories are slowly returning. Doctors have said that she could regain 85% of her former mental and physical capacity within the next decade. Oh, that's awesome. Well, and that was also back in 88. So let's say 98, 85. And if we're lucky, maybe she could even get up to like 90 or 95%, by now, Hold on. Although her progress has been miraculous, her brain damage is severe, and tragically, it is probably irreversible. Dr. Stenningham does not think that the events surrounding the attack are stored in Jenny's memory. He does not think there is any way they could be recalled. I would like to think that anything is possible. It's just give the lady time. Give her time to heal. He thinks there is a strong likelihood that she could be told things that she would then repeat, but to remember those actual events is virtually impossible. Let's fix this. Hold on, let's fix this. Okay. Dr. Stenningham and other doctors believe that the person Jenny was prior to the attack is likely gone forever. They believe her mind is currently similar to that of a second grader. Although her long-term memory seems to be improving, she still has issues with her short-term memory. Dr. Stenningham said that as she learns more about her disabilities, she becomes more upset with her situation. Yeah! Why wouldn't she? I'd be pissed off too. Somebody I loved was possibly responsible for me getting my head turned into scrambled eggs. Yeah, I'd be a little bit pissed also, Okay. Oh, come on. Let's see. Jenny wonders why someone would try to kill her. She wonders why someone was mad at her and what she may have done to them to hurt them. It isn't, and I understand why Jenny feels like this. But ultimately, us as observers and have been following this case, we know that it wasn't Jenny's fault. We know it wasn't Jenny. Jenny had nothing to do with that. It was Curtis Croft. Christoff says that they need someone in the community with half the courage of Jenny to come forward. Someone that has the one missing link that will tie this case together. He thinks that all they are missing is one small link and someone has it. Oh, I agree. I'm actually amazed that nobody actually said anything as of, 1988. Sergeant Byler said that they are primarily interested in finding out who threw the board that struck Jenny. He says that if there is a group of other people that were in the truck, they can come forward without fear of prosecution. The police are surprised that none of those involved have come forward. It is suspected they are protecting each other. Duh. They're criminals. I said it before and I will say it again, ladies and gentlemen. Criminals are a cowardly bunch. They will cover their asses. They'll cover each other's asses if need be. Criminals are cowards. They do not have the spine like normal people do. And that's why nobody has come forward, because they don't have the kind of honor that normal people do. There is no honor amongst thieves. There is no honor amongst criminals. And this is proof of that. Okay. Diane said that she sees a lot of hard work that has been done to help Jenny recover. She says this work has been needless because some fool did this to her. She notes that Jenny will have to live with her brain injury for the rest of her life. she sometimes wonders if Jenny really is living. She says she will always love Jenny, but she still misses the old Jenny. Jenny said that she would really appreciate it if someone came forward to tell her who attacked her. It would make her feel like someone really loves and cares about her. Which is fucking sad. You had a person whose head was literally caved in, and nobody has the fucking courage to come out and basically to do what's right. You can't expect it from Curtis Croft. No, that guy's a piece of shit. I hope, now I know it probably never happened, but if he is married, because I don't think he actually stayed with Jenny. We still have a little bit more to go through. But if Curtis is married, I hope his wife one day sees this, and I want to tell her that she needs to get the fuck out of there. Get away from him. Get away from him. Because if he was willing to basically allow his girlfriend to have her head caved in, what do you think he would do to you? Okay. Gary and Diane have been devastated financially by her medical care and rehabilitation. In fact, their insurance is scheduled to run out. I didn't know insurance runs out. I thought that once you pay like a premium once you paid all your out of pocket after you hit like a certain limit, I thought that then basically they have to pick it up no matter what. Maybe it was different in 87 or 88, but that's the way I know, at least with mine. It's like once I hit that limit, they have to start picking up everything basically. See here, which would mean she would be unable to attend her rehabilitation classes. Gary also has been unable to find work after he left his previous job to help her with her rehabilitation. Her parents are currently focusing their efforts on helping her overcome her disabilities. They still want justice for her, but they also want to protect others from the type of criminal behavior that led to her tragedy, or to this tragedy. I'm sorry. Suspects. The perpetrators are described as several male teenagers in a white pickup truck. They have never been positively identified. Several of Jenny's classmates and neighbors believe that the perpetrators were members of her school's party crowd. Chris Offey also believes this. He suspects that the perpetrators are drug users who went to her school. He, Gary, and Diane believe that they know the identities of the perpetrators, but they do not have enough proof to name them. Police claim that they have circumstantial evidence that points to certain suspects, but no solid evidence. It is suspected that the attack was related to Curtis's drug activities. You fucking think? He had an altercation with one individual the day before the attack. He, however, said he does not believe the attack was drug related. He says that if it was drug related, it would have been more professional. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. If these are teenagers are impulsive. I should know. I was a fucking teenager before. I did a lot of shit impulsively. Don't let the fact that these could have been teenagers, don't let their age fool you. That's why people say, "Oh, I can't believe a little kid could do something so mean as hurt another child." It doesn't matter what your fucking age is. People are capable of doing heinous shit. Let's see here. There is some speculation that the attack was actually a misguided school prank. Instead of an intentional one. Gee, I wonder what kind of prank where you're going down the road in a truck at 10 miles an hour with a 2x4 and you knock somebody upside the back of the head. Oh, prank, 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 prank. Extra notes. This case first aired on the December 14th, 1988 episode. An update with new interviews of Jenny, Gary, and Diane was featured on the 3rd anniversary special dated February 11th, 1990. Some sources spell Gary's name as Gary with 2 R's. It was also featured on the Trail Went Cold podcast. Okay, so let's do this. Results. Unsolved. After the broadcast, many viewers contacted Gary and Diane sending their love and support and offering to help them in any way possible. When 26-year-old Tiffany Harris, the actress who played Jenny in the broadcast, learned that the family's insurance was running out, she organized a walkathon in Los Angeles to help raise the money to cover the cost of Jenny's rehabilitation for another year. On February 18, 1989, it was held with more than 200 people in attendance. They raised over $64,000. Congratulations, that's actually a lot. You got to remember, $64,000 in '89 was a hell of a lot more than it is in 2024. I commend them. If I had a hat, I'd tip it. Okay. Since the broadcast, Jenny's life has begun to steadily improve. Her short-term memory has gotten better, and she was finally able to return to school in 1989. During the 3rd anniversary special, she, Gary, and Diane were interviewed by host Robert Stack. She said that she had improved in lots of different ways since the attack. She said she hoped to get her high school diploma, go to college, and help people with brain injuries. I like that. That's a good goal. I actually like that a lot. Did you notice who was not mentioned at all here? That's right, snitch bitch. Nowhere was he fucking mentioned at all. Jeff, you shouldn't call him snitch bitch. He's a human being. No, he's a piece of shit. Only a coward allows their loved one to get hurt. Don't try to make me feel bad for calling the guy what he is, and that's a little snitch bitch. People need to stop coddling criminals. Gary said that he thinks the case will be solved because there are a lot of people in the community that know who was responsible. Diane disagreed, believing that too much time has passed. She said that no new information has come out about the attack. She cannot believe that so many people know who did it, but no one has come forward. A lot of people are by nature kind of they will shy away from doing what's right because they're afraid that it could have blowback on them. It doesn't make them bad people. No, it just makes they're just more timid, I guess you could say. I'm not talking about criminals. I'm talking about the citizens who are good people. They're just not everybody is made for conflict. It's easier to see a crime, turn your back and walk away than it is to actually see a crime and go raise your voice and go, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing over there?" It's a lot different, yeah. Gary and Diane also said that one of her biggest fears was that she would be attacked again, since the people responsible were still at large. Diane thinks that if the case is solved, it would take a lot off of Jenny's shoulders. It would not scare her as much. Ah, crap. Hold on. Unfortunately, according to some sources, the statute of limitations has since run out in this case. Several people close to it, including Gary and Diane, have claimed to know the identities of the perpetrators. One source claims that the driver of the truck is still alive. However, the person who threw the board committed suicide in 1994. According to another source, the attack was done on the orders of a man named whom Curtis had ratted to the police. Go figure. Go fucking figure that earlier in this video, I said that him snitching was probably what led to this, and boom, here we go. These suspects have never been publicly identified. Officially, the case remains unsolved. As of a few years ago, it was reported that Jenny is alive and doing well, which I am glad to know at least she is doing well. I'm hoping that one day, I'm not sure how it is now. I'm hoping that one day, that the old Jenny returns. Okay, what do we have down here? Do we have anything here? Nothing really. There's a lot of links. You can always check that out, though. Well, I'm going to take a quick break and rest my voice, and then when I return, it will be with my final thoughts. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
When you visit Fred Penner's place, you'll hear tunes.
I like to have fun with you.
You'll hear tales.
Well, he saw a bullfrog.
And you may even get a case of happy feet.
Happy feet. I've got those happy feet. I give them a low down beat, and they begin dancing.
Fred Penner's place, every weekday after Eureka's Castle on Nick Jr.
Okay, it is now time for my final thoughts, and honestly, we have the biggest the right word to say. The person who suffered the most was Jenny. She did not deserve what happened to her that night. Yeah, she made some stupid choices, but do those choices, is that reason enough for her to be assaulted in such a form? You see in today's media, you see somebody in the, like say in The Walking Dead, they take a heinous shot to the head. Hell, look no further to what happened to Glenn. That, I'm not saying it was the same kind of level of brutality, but something similar to that happened to Jenny. The only difference was, instead of it being a baseball bat, it was a 2x4, and instead of it being on the top of the head, it was in the back of the head. The biggest victim in this is Jenny. And Jenny needs that, she deserves that closure. The biggest piece of shit, though, I will go on record, and like I have already, and say that it is Curtis Croft. I hope that one day, that basically justice comes for him. We know that he knows who did it. If he actually had a backbone, which he does not, he would turn himself in. Granted, they say the statute of limitations has expired, but if this was my country, shit like that would not expire. I just hope that ultimately Jenny, I'm hoping that she can get back to how it was for her prior to the attack. But that's all I really have to say. If you see Curtis Croft and he tries to play the victim card, do not fall for it. Do not fall for the victim card at all. There's only one victim, and it sure as hell is not him. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted, to get this episode started. So, that is, this was case number 1. So stay tuned for case number 2, which is going to be the case of, hold on one second. Okay, so the next case, which will be in roughly, I think it's 2 weeks. I have to check the time, but I'll put it in my in the community tab on my YouTube page. But the next case that will be covered will be the case of Jack Quinn. Basically, Jack Quinn is another low-life criminal, but instead of actually, assaulting somebody, he basically stole a shit ton of money and fled. So we're going to hear more about Jack Quinn in a couple weeks. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. I tend to take breaks between episodes, so we have a couple more episodes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you liked what you watched and you're watching on YouTube, feel free to click that subscribe button, click the like and the bell, and leave a comment. Who do you think hurt Jenny Pratt? Do you think it was people related to what Curtis Croft was doing, or do you think this was just a simple prank? If you're watching this on Facebook, feel free to click that follow button, click the like button, and you'll be alerted when I release new content. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.